What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but we're back. This is part 2 of a 2-part series, how to disassemble, clean, and rebuild an Autolite 4100 carburetor. This is the carburetor that's from a 1959 Ford Thunderbird. The first video contains breaking the carburetor down. In between videos, I cleaned the carburetor. I used lemon-scented pine sol
with a fresh lemon scent,
and it worked very well. I needed about 6 bottles of it. Knowing what I've learned, I'm going to be doing things differently in the future. Instead of dumping all the pine sol in the cleaner, I'm going to put water in the cleaner and put the parts in Ziploc bags with the pine sol. It'll probably save a good couple of bottles of pine sol. I also used a pack of cheap brushes from Harbor Freight to clean all the orifices out, and torch tip cleaner that I bought online years back. There's a lot of little holes and orifices that, are gunked up with debris from the fuel throughout the years. After thoroughly cleaning every individual piece, I blew it all out with compressed air. So with all of that being said, let's get started. The idle air mixture screws I painted white. Once everything is back together, they're going to be underneath the carburetor. And it's best to adjust your idle air mixture screws with your air filter put back on top. So I painted those white so they're a little extra bright once everything's back together, and I'll be able to actually see them with the screwdriver to adjust the idle air mixture. So I showed this in the last video. This is the carburetor kit for it. It's 15255. I got this off of Rock Auto. It was about $40 for the kit. Unfortunately, this kit doesn't come with the secondary accelerator pump. That was about $10 on Rock Auto as well. So yeah, so let's put this back here for now. We're not going to need that yet. Let's open this sucker up and see what we got to work with here, folks. This is the top gasket, and it looks pretty much identical to the old one. I saved all my gaskets just to compare. Yeah, it's identical. So put this off to the side along with this. And this is what we have here, folks. Make sure you have the proper set before you break the seal. Otherwise you can't return it. Also try not to destroy the set like I'm doing here. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the main jets back in. You want to always start them with your hand, as they are brass and very easy to damage. I'll put the secondary mains in. Alright, now we're going to start with installing the power valve. The difference in this power valve compared to this power valve. This one here is hard as a rock. A rock, not the. This one here is very easily plunged, which the power valve helps give the car fuel when it needs it. So this one here was basically starving the engine of fuel. You got to flip this sucker over, put it in from the bottom. Carefully tighten that up. Here's the cover and the screws. Now, personally, I did the best to clean up these screws as much as I could. I went over them with a file and some sandpaper. Find the cover gasket, which I believe this is. Little tip: you're going to want to maybe get some oil, just for the thread, just a little bit. A little dab will do you. It's actually a little too much, so share. Share and share alike, player. Share and share alike. Alright. Another little tip is I like to get them. I like to get all 4 started before I tighten any of them. All right, let's tighten them all up. All right, now we're going to install the accelerator pump. Make sure you put your spring in the correct position. The new kit comes with a dowel for the plunger. I pre-oiled all the screws ahead of time. Put them together. Get all my screws start threaded before I tighten up all 4. Okay, nice new accelerator pump. There's the new accelerator pump. So now, this accelerator pump's a little bit different than the one that I have here. The one that I have here has a post in it. The post going through to hook into the arm. This one here has a female, doesn't have a post with it, but it comes with the post in the kit. Basically looks like a little nail with a slit through the end of it. You got to put it through the accelerator pump, and then you have to hook it on to the arm and put a screwdriver in there and spread them apart. Put your spring on top and your cap. This is a little tricky here. First, you're going to want to connect your spring onto this little nub. Okay, so you're basically going to want to hold that tight before you put the pressure on it, so that the gasket makes seats around the whole entire cap. Okay, so we're going to be installing the primary Venturis next. Now in the kit, you're going to see that they give you multiple size check balls. You want to make sure that the sizes are the exact same. Okay, then you just drop that into the check ball spot. Here's the primary Venturis, and then the gasket. Make sure you oil up your threads. Okay, that's tight. Okay, so now we'll do the secondary Venturis. Put your gasket. Drop it down in there. Oil up our bolt. If you guys remember from the first video, this was basically a mouse's home at one point. So now I'm going to connect the choke. Just keep in mind before you do connect the choke up again, that your linkages are in the correct orientation. This here is going to have to hook on to the plate when you put the plate back on. So you're going to want to make sure that's in the correct spot. And this here is going to be connected to your idle cam. So you're going to put your idle cam on. Don't forget your gasket. You're going to want to put this back on in the right spot. Get your screw started. And make sure that everything in the back is orientated correctly. You're going to want to get your screws started, get a couple threads started, but before you tighten everything, you're going to want to connect your linkage to your fast idle cam. Before everything gets tight and you can't connect it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put the kit comes with these little E-clips, new E-clips. So I'll put those on there. Put one on there, just so make sure it's in the correct orientation. Okay. Alright, snapped. Once that's in its right spot, then you can tighten it, bring all the bolts home. Go home! Okay, so now we're going to put the seats in. These are the same for primary and secondary. Okay, so let's replace the bells. They're all rusty. The kit comes with 2 different kinds of bells. So let's figure out which one we use. I think it's this guy. Okay, so you're going to want to clip the bail on, whichever bail corresponds with yours when you have the old one. Okay, you snap that guy on. Snap that guy in place. Okay, then you slip on your needle. Lock it in place so it can't pop off. And you drop her down in. Do the same thing with the other side. This kit comes with a cute little ruler. The floats are supposed to be when the needle and seat are closed, the floats are supposed to be 30 seconds from the top. Okay? Just make sure that that's what that ruler is for. They're supposed to be 30 seconds. And they both pretty much, yeah, they both measure out at 30 seconds, so we're good. Alright, we're going to put the gasket on now, the top gasket. So I grab the gasket. And we plop her on and make sure all your vacuum holes are open where they're supposed to be open. Let's flip her around because this little lever, or this little linkage piece has to hook into this little thing on the choke. Okay, once it does, you can set it down in place, make sure that everything is lined up correctly. Oops, actually I made a mistake. Okay, let's do this again. So let's do this the right way though this time, folks. There we go. Now it's correct. So we're going to hook this little piece of linkage into the choke thingy. Alright. Put it on top. And then with your oiled screws, we're going to start tightening it all up. Now I am missing one screw, so you're gonna have to put another one. I'm gonna have to put another one here. I'm gonna look in my stash, see if I can find one. But as for now, we'll just call this 8 screws instead of 7, because there's really only 7. The kit comes with these little clips, so we might as well put a brand new one. I always double check my floats and my needle and seats. You blow into the fuel inlet upside down, it will flow. Right side up, it will flow. And that's how you check to see if your needles and seats are sealing. Install that. Now you're gonna want to tighten up your carburetor stud. Alright, now we're going to install the air bleeds. Put a little oil on them suckers. And you don't want to over tighten them when you screw them in until they stop. Once they stop, that's basically it. Okay, once they stop, you're going to want to open them up a turn and a half. So there's a half a turn, 1 full turn, 1 half turn. Alright, I'm going to do that for the other side as well. Okay, then you're going to want to put your linkage on your secondary accelerator pump. Through the hole, and then you put your clip on. Just like so. Alright, so let's flip this around. So we're going to put this, okay, we're going to go like so. Flip her around, and then put it in the third hole. Okay. Alright, now we're going to get the choke back together. Okay, so now we're going to put our choke cap back on. There's a new gasket that's supplied with the kit. Line up your spring with that little arm. Okay. Just screws. It's like a little indentation on the cap. I like to line up the little indentation with the center of these adjustments until I put it on the car. Now, if I'm not doing that correctly, somebody could leave a comment down below and let me know. I'd be greatly appreciated. Don't forget the E-clip on the fast idle cam. I almost did. I'm going to put this back in the carburetor for right now, but my plans are I'm going to flare this end so this way I could put, when I put a hose on it, it doesn't pop off. But as for right now, just so it's complete, I'm going to put this back together. Okay, it's my clean screen. I'm not going to go crazy tightening it. I'm just going to actually leave it loose, because that's going to be a later video. Alright, well there you go. Rebuilt back together. Nice new gaskets. Everything's new. Ready to put it on the car and try it out. Put this guy back on. There you go, folks. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today, folks. I hope this video was educational. I actually learned some things myself, as I really haven't worked too much with 2-barrel and 4-barrel carburetors for automobiles. Like I said in the last video, I basically worked a bunch with small engine carburetors, 2-cycle and 4-cycle engines. If you like what you've seen, please like the video. There's going to be a lot more videos in the future. There's going to be more hands-on with cars, with vehicles, and back out in the garage, since now it's starting to get warm again. Like I said, thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time on A Patriot's Touch. I use lemon flavored and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's that. We're not going to be putting that in yet. This is going. That was. I went over them with a file and some what's it called? Sandpaper. Am I even showing this in the video? Probably not. Alright, let's do this again now. Oh, this is not in the right spot, you dumb asshole. That's a reason. It was a ball buster. Have a nice day.